The first hymn of Callimachus to Jupiter. Matthew. Prior while we to Jove select the holy victim, whom after shall we sing than Jove himself, the god forever great, forever king, who slew the earth-born race, and measures right to heaven's great habitants? Dictaean, hearest thou more joyful, or Lycian, long dispute and various thought has traced? On Ida's mount, or Dictae, studious of his country's praise, the Cretan boasts thy natal place. But oft he meets reproof deserved, for he, presumptuous, has built a tomb for thee who never knowest to die, but livest the same today and ever. Arcadian therefore be thy birth, great Rhea, pregnant, to high Parasia's cliffs retired, and wild Lycae, black with shading pines, holy retreat. Scythians no female hither, conscious of social love and nature's rights, must dare approach, from the inferior reptile to woman, form divine. There the blessed parent ungirt her spacious bosom, and discharged the ponderous birth. She sought an Ibering spring to wash the recent babe, in vain. Arcadia, however streamy now, adust and dry, denied the goddess water, where deep Melis and rocky Cratis flow, the chariot smoked obscure with rising dust. The thirsty traveler in vain required the current, then imprisoned in subterranean caverns, forests grew upon the barren hollows, high o'ershading the haunts of savage beasts, where now Aeon and Erymanth incline their friendly urns. Thou, too, O earth, great Rhea said, bring forth, and short shall be thy pangs. She said, and high she reared her arm, and with her scepter struck the yawning cliff. From its disparted height adown the mount the gushing torrent ran, and cheered the valleys. There the heavenly mother bathed, mighty king, thy tender limbs. She wrapped them in purple bands. She gave the precious pledge to prudent Neda, charging her to guard thee careful and secret. Neda, of the nymphs that tended the great birth, next Philyra and Styx, the eldest. Smiling, she received the and, conscious of the grace, absolved her trust. Not unrewarded, since the river bore the favorite virgin's name. Fair Neda rolls by Leprechaun's ancient walls, a fruitful stream, fast by her flowery bank the sons of Arcus, favorites of heaven, with happy care protect their fleecy charge, and joyous drink her wave. Thee, God, to Knossos Neda brought, the nymphs and Corybanths thee, their sacred charge, received, addressed rocked thy golden cradle. The goat, now bright amidst her fellow stars, kind Amalthea, reached her teat, distant with milk, thy early food. The settlerless bee distilled her honey on thy purple lips. Around, the fierce curettes order solemn to thy fur-knowing mother. Trod tumultuous their mystic dance, and clanged their sounding arms, industrious with the warlike din to quell thy infant cries, and mock the ear of Saturn. Swift growth and wondrous grace, O heavenly Jove, waited thy blooming years, inventive wit and perfect judgment crowned thy youthful act. That Saturn's sons received the threefold empire of heaven, of ocean, and deep hell beneath, as the dark urn and chance of law determined, old poets mention fabbling. Things of moment, well nigh equivalent and neighboring value, by lot are parted. But high heaven, thy share, in equal balance laid gainst sea or hell, flings up the adverse scale, and shuns proportion, wherefore not chance, but power above thy brethren, exalted thee their king. When thy great will commands thy chariot forth, impetuous strength and fiery swiftness wing the rapid wheels incessant. High the eagle flies before thee. And, oh, as I in mine consult thy augur, grant the glad omen. Let thy favorite rise propitious, ever soaring from the right. Thou to the lesser gods hast well assigned their proper shares of power, thy own, great Jove, boundless and universal. Those who labor in the sweaty forge, who edge the crooked scythe, bend stubborn steel, and harden gleaming armor, acknowledge Vulcan's aid. The early hunter blesses Diana's hand, who leads him safe o'er hanging cliffs, who spreads his net successful, and guides the arrow through the panther's heart. The soldier, from successful camps returning with laurel wreathed, and rich with hostile spoil, severs the bull to Mars. The skillful bard, striking the Thracian harp, invokes Apollo, to make his hero himself immortal. Those, mighty Jove, meantime thy glorious care, who model nations, publish laws, announce or life or death, and found or change the empire. Man owns the power of kings, and kings of Jove, and as their actions tend subordinate to what thou will designs, thou gavest the means proportioned to the work. These only have to speak and be obeyed. To those are given to some whole months, revolving years to some, others, ill-fated, are condemned to toil their tedious life, and mourn their purpose, blasted with fruitless act and impotence of counsel. Hail, greatest son of Saturn, wise disposer of every good! Thy praise what man yet born has sung? Or who that may be born shall sing? Again, and often hail. Indulge our prayer, great Father. Grant us virtue, grant us wealth, for without virtue wealth to man avails not, and virtue without wealth exerts less power, and less diffuses good. Then grant us, gracious, virtue and wealth, for both are of thy gift.